Great morning to you. Hey, 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 hey. Out getting my morning walk in. You know how I am about that nature and self-care. I've truly been trying to be and stay consistent in my walk, at least while I can still get out here and walk, right? The weather can be crazy, it can be raining, it can be a whole lot of different things. But when I walk, I always share my reflections, whether it's business, whether it's biblical principles, whether it's them blended together, you know, all of the above. It's just who I am. This is Danette Moss, business systems and implementation strategist, aka the strategy lady. And y'all, I really want to share something that I read today. I have been in the studio. If you've been following me, you know I have my own TV podcast. I like to say TV show and podcast because you can kind of do them slightly different, face and no face. But nonetheless, I've been in the studio with people locally here in Atlanta filming live. I'm just so excited. And then, of course, with those that are not in Atlanta or in the U.S., we, do it virtually, and then we air the shows. And one of the individual persons that was on my show before and who will be coming up again, she deals a lot with business planning for CEOs. And I'm going to tell you, she's really, truly blessed my life because I've learned and known about business planning, but didn't do it at the level that she taught it on in its most simplistic way. But it was wow today, while I was in the midst of my devotion time, of course, with the Lord, he brought me back past one of, what is his name? I think his name is Rick Box. Yeah. And he talks about business planning principles. And I wanted to share it with you. It just really, it kind of tripped me out how when I went back and revisited that, how I could even intertwine what it was that I learned while I was in her boot camp, Marjorie Mallard, by the way. And it talked about, and it spoke to me directly. You know, I work with consultants, right? You know, HR consultants, DI consultants, female CEOs, service providers, you know, y'all. But it talked about business planning principles. And I'm going to read it to you and see how it resonates with you. It said, when I started a consulting practice years ago, I sent a survey to business owners. The essence of the survey revolved around two questions. Do you believe business planning is important? And do you currently have any kind of business plan? Over 90% who responded said they viewed business planning as important, but only 40% said they had any kind of plan. Some Christians, you know I'm talking about faith-based entrepreneurs. Some Christians question the value of business planning, wondering if it undermines. I said, here we go. Speaking my language, wondering if it undermines your faith walk. I was like, wait a minute. It can't undermine it. But unfortunately, so many of us do. Wondering if it undermines walking by faith, technically. Jeremiah 29:11 proclaims, for I know the plans I have for you. Yes, he does. Declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. How many times did you hear that word plan? I'm just asking. I love it. Now, the other thing that stood out to me was that according to this verse, when you peel back the onion layer, God obviously is a planner, y'all. I don't know why we think we're not supposed to plan. It's the first principle in my book. So the first principle for business planning is this: God values planning. If God values planning, shouldn't you? This is Danette Moss, Business Systems and Implementation Strategist, aka the Strategy Lady, over at Let's Talk Strategies, where I work with those overwhelmed female CEOs, consultants, some of them are coaches, of course. Listen, I work with them to go from overwhelmed to putting their business on rinse and repeat. In a nutshell, I work with them to get their sass on in business. I like to help them simplify, automate, systematize, and streamline their business. I hope this spoke to you or resonated with you just like it did to me. If you don't have a plan, get a plan. Get one. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and future. He is in the planning business. So should you be. Take care.